In this video, we will demonstrate how to use Tenable's Web Application Scanner to detect the highly dangerous remote code execution vulnerability in Apache Log4j, known as the Log4Shell vulnerability. We will not be talking very much about the vulnerability itself. That is covered in many other research blog posts, including those by Tenable. Please visit our blog or click on the links below if you are not familiar with the vulnerability. Now, before we jump into the UI to show you how to create the scan, I want to discuss why we need this policy. Tenable actually has a large number of detections for this particular vulnerability using different scan engines and methods. So this is a great tool to augment the existing detection methods, and I'll go over why. First, Tenable WAS comes from an external source and looks at the application through the lens of HTTP. Thus, it does not require local credentials, nor does it require access to your developer's pipeline to test. This method is not looking at code or performing version checks, so it's actually a different detection methodology than using a tool such as software composition analysis or even the Nessus scanner or Nessus agents. Second, Tenable WAS detection methods are more thorough than many of the other scanners out there. This is because many proof of concepts are only looking at HTTP headers, whereas the entire application itself may be vulnerable, including all those inputs such as login forms, search boxes, and other inputs throughout the web application. The last important concept to remember is that because Tenable WAS is scanning the running application, it's able to test the full application logic and structure. Think about it this way. If you're testing your application's code or performing SCA, software composition analysis, in your developer's pipelines, is that really the entire application? You generally do not have a software bill of materials for components you do not make yourself, such as the application relying on cloud infrastructure. One last disclaimer before we jump in. Please alert all appropriate parties in your organization before you test your applications. Yes, this situation calls for immediately understanding your attack surface, but remember that availability is just as important for most organizations. Please see the link in the below info for a full list of Tenable's Cloud Scanner IP addresses so that your organization's teams can be aware to expect traffic from them. To get started with testing for the Log4Shell vulnerability, all you need to do is log into Tenable.io, click on Quick Actions up in the top right, and then create a web app scan. Once the templates have loaded, click on Log4Shell, give it a name, such as Log4Shell Vuln Detection, and then give it the targets, such as https www.tenable.com, and then click Add to the right-hand side. It is important to note that we scan by FQDN, so if you were to enter in www.tenable.com as a target, even if we found links to outside web applications such as youtube.com or google.com, we would not crawl and test those. However, if you have multiple applications that you wish to test, you can type in additional ones, or you can even import from a text file. Once you have all of your targets and a name, you can hit Save and Launch in the bottom right-hand corner. Once your scans have completed, you'll be able to click into that scan result and see your applications side by side to get a sense of which ones are vulnerable and which ones are not. Because this particular policy only runs a single check, we should only see a limited number of plugins, most of them being informational, and you will only see vulnerabilities if the application itself is vulnerable, as you can see here. You'll be able to see more information such as the description, the solution, and see also links here, as well as all cross-references that are applicable to this vulnerability.